നമുക്കിന്ന് ശ്രീ NK പ്രേമചന്ദ്രൻ MP-യുടെ ബജറ്റ് പ്രസംഗം പരിശോധിക്കാം.
Opposition, we, the members of the opposition, at the time of taking part in the discussion on the presidential address, motion of thanks to the presidential address, we have discussed and we have observed that this is not an NDA government, but it is an N-square DA government, because this is a government totally depending on Naidu-Nitish dependent alliance government. That is why the stability of this the government is at question. Madam Chairperson, the budget proposal, if you see, Madam Nirmala Sitharaman ji has announced the budget proposals, and the Madam Finance Minister has substantiated and ratified the observations made by the opposition that this is a government, its survival and existence of the government is at the political pleasure of these two parties, Janata Dal U and the other party TDP, led by Naidu and Nitish. And that is why my first submission is suggestion is the stability of the government is at question. This government can collapse at any time before completing the term of office. That is the first point which I would like to make. Madam Chairperson, Madam Finance Minister has presented the interim budget with the full confidence that we will be coming back with char so par with brutal majority. But after the election, Madam has presented the budget giving a political message that the government is lacking confidence. That is the reason why the government is succumbed to the pressure of the two political parties and also violating the federal principles of our constitution, giving thrust to two states and discriminating other state means this is totally against the basic principles of the constitution. That is, the federal character of the constitution is not complied with the pronouncement of the budget proposals for the year 24-25. Madam Chairperson, I am confining my speech to 4 points. Kindly allow me time. I have given more than 100 cut motion notices, so for which I am not getting an opportunity to speak on the cut motion. So kindly give me some time so that I can move all these things. Madam, the first point is the lack of transparency in the budget. Madam, kindly examine the interim budget. The total size of the budget was 47,65,000 crores. The full budget, it is 48,20,000 crores. That means 55,000 crores additional expenditure than the interim budget. What about the gross borrowing? Madam, kindly see 16,85,000 crores in the interim budget, and in the full budget it is just 16,10,000 in the full budget. That means 75,000 crore less in the full budget. My specific question to the Honorable Finance Minister is, from where the additional allocation comes? Kindly explain the House from where the additional amount which you have announced in so many programs in the full budget, from where do the money comes? Kindly explain. No amount is allocated for the new projects or schemes announced in the full budget. For example, in page 39, para 4, 24 and 25, announced a new scheme by 9 Prime Ministers Jan Jatiya Gram Abhiyan for improving the socio-economic conditions of the tribal communities, covering 63 villages, benefiting 5 crore people. But the amount allocated in the interim budget as well as in the full budget for the tribal affairs is the same as that is 13,000 crores. Where do the further allocation will come? And also you have declared 56,000 crores additional allocation for Bihar and 15,000 crores for the Andhra Pradesh. But in the budget allocation for North is the same 2,78,000 crores in the interim budget as well as in the full budget. So it is very clear that the amount of allocation prescribed and presented in the budget speech is not reflected in the figures of the budget. That means the budget is lacking transparency, and hence it is to be opposed. The Honorable Finance Minister has to explain regarding the transparency of the budget. The second point is the focus point that the flagship program of this budget is nothing but it is employment and skilling. Madam, kindly see, the government is indirectly admitting the fact that during the 10 years of Narendra Modi ji's government in power in office has established that the government had a growth, or the country had a growth, but growth is without having an employment generation. It was jobless growth, it is admitted. Madam, corporate investment is not creating employment. Without employment, consumption and wealth will not increase. In the present situation, capital labor ratio is increasing and the ratio of capital production is decreasing. Madam, 94 to 2002, if you examine, for generating employment, the ratio of capital was 2.8. And 2003 to 2017, it is 5.6. That means employment growth rate is decreasing. Along with the artificial intelligence is coming, further it will enhance. So the economic survey presented by the Honorable Finance Minister in the House, I quote, Indian economy need to generate an average of 78.5 lakh jobs annually until 2030 in the non-farm sector to address the unemployment, unquote. Madam, unemployment is the biggest challenge, and how it is going to be addressed. My specific question is, and 9.2% is according to the CMIE. I'm not going to dispute all the figures and all these things. Madam, whether the employment-linked incentive and the internship is sufficient to address the problem of unemployment. You have announced 3 programs of this incentive. I will tell, I have no time, I know it very well. Scheme A. What is Scheme A, madam? According to Scheme A, 15,000 rupees, first month salary up to 15,000 rupees will be paid to the employer for an employee who is being recruited in the company, and that too in 3 installments, and that is the first scheme. And the second scheme is the EPFO contribution of the employer and employee for the first 4 years for the first time employees, second one. And the scheme C is government will reimburse the PF contribution of employers up to 3,000 per month for 2 years. So if you examine these 3 schemes, the incentive is for the employer, not for the employees. And the 3 schemes are applicable to those who are employed. Madam, this incentive is applicable for the employees, not for the, those who are employed in the company. But where is the employment opportunities? No employment opportunity can be created out of these 3 schemes. So my another question to the Honorable Finance Minister is whether any employer will recruit anyone in his establishment, that he will get 1 month wages, that too up to 15,000 in 3 installments, for which whether he will create an employment opportunity to a jobless youth who will pay for the next 11 months, whether any employer will recruit unemployed youth for the sole reason that 3,000 rupees per month will be getting for 2 years, and that will be getting as the PF contribution for the sole reason. Yes, madam, I am concluding. For that reason, whether any employment opportunity will be given? No, sir, no, madam. That is why I am saying that the schemes which you have announced is not going to create any employment opportunity in the country, and I do appreciate the government regarding the internship program. It is a very good program, internship program. I do fully appreciate it. That is manifested in the Congress manifesto also. But only one suggestion. Only one suggestion, madam, I have to say. What happened to the product-linked incentive? Product-linked incentive, if you examine, it was in the year 21-22 financial year, 1,97,000 crores of announced. So far, how much expended, how much spent? Just 9,700 crores, because it is not having a legal backing. So my points are, any welfare program in a developing economy has to be legally guaranteed for enforcement and implementation. So my suggestion to the government is, let us come with a legislation before the House so as to make it mandatory, compulsory, as we have done in the case of the Corporate Social Responsibility Fund. That has to be done. And regarding MSME, and only 2 minutes I will conclude, ma'am. Regarding the MSMEs, I want a specific answer from the Madam Finance Minister.
आधा मिनट में अपनी बात कंप्लीट करिए माननीय सदस्य, 1 मिनट के अंदर अपनी बात.
Okay, ma'am. Madam, para 43 to 50 speaks about new programs to promote MSMEs. What is the budget allocation, madam? 22-23, it is 23,583 crores. 23-24, 22,137 crores. A reduction of 1,446 crore. And what about the interim budget? 22,137. What is in the full budget? It is also the same amount. Madam, I would like to know from the Honorable Finance Minister how you are going to plan the new programs which are envisaged in the MSME sector as described in the full budget. And the final point, madam, discrimination against the states. Madam, I represent the state of Kerala. We are having burst potential of tourism. None of the projects have been declared in the budget. We have continuous flood and so many other natural calamities. Nothing has been declared in the budget proposal when we are making so many announcements in respect of of other states. And regarding so many other aspects, regarding the financial situation of the state also, it is making it very difficult. In such a situation, the Kerala state is totally discriminated. So my suggestion is, that is why I would like to say, discrimination of certain states who are opposing the government, politically opposing the government, giving fruitful benefit to the states who are supporting the government, is totally against the political ethos of our country, basic constitutional features of the constitution. With these words I conclude. So once again I would like to say that kindly see the issues of the Kerala state also along with other state. With these words I
ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് ഇനിയും പറയാനുണ്ട്. വരും ദിവസങ്ങളിൽ മറ്റ് നേതാക്കന്മാർ ബജറ്റ് ചർച്ചയിൽ പറയാനുള്ളതിന്റെ വിശദവിവരങ്ങളുമായി ഞങ്ങൾ വരും. കാത്തിരിക്കൂ.